Kanye West, Jermaine Cole, Kendrick Lamar, and Drake are all at their lowest points in their careers right now, except for maybe Kendrick Lamar. And I know that sounds crazy. Don't leave me. But I'll explain it in the video. With that being said, get your cranberry juice, get your Cheerios, and consider subscribing. Simon says to do it right there. You see that? Simon says subscribe. Yeah, let's get into it. These four have such an impressive catalog that over time, they try to change stuff because it's such a long catalog too. So many slaps, and a lot of the time it's really difficult for people to make those changes. We've seen Drake do like a dance album, and it didn't really work that well. Nobody really enjoyed it that much. A couple people did, but for the most part, it was one of his most criticized albums of all time. And as well as Kanye. Kanye is known to be experimental, but recently he's been changing certain aspects of like his style of rap. He's been a lot more vulgar, arguably, in Vultures, and a lot of these people are just changing and also getting out of date with what the current people want. You know, if you're in your 40s and stuff like that, it's hard to continue to be with all these poppy trends that are currently happening right now. And we're seeing a great example of this with Kanye West, where he's honestly sounding like a crazy uncle at times, and Drake is kind of doing a pretty good job at staying with the times. But at a certain point, you have to start talking less in a way. You have to be a lot more like mysterious, because you're not going to be sitting there talking like crazy like a teenager again when you're in your 40s. So they kind of don't have as much to say as they could when they were young and hungry. So with that being said, it gets a lot more difficult for them. So we have this example with Drake. His last couple of albums, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro, he's just been trying to change a bunch of stuff, and I don't really think that it's been working for him. I think you really started to see a steep decline in Drake's music with Dark Lane demo tape. Bro, everybody hated that. I'm not gonna lie. I know so many people who dislike that album, and I think it has some redeemable songs on there, but for the most part, the album was not that great. CLB, crazy album cover. I don't think this is horrible, but a lot of people would beg to disagree that these are one of the weakest albums in his discography. In the last 5 albums that he's been on, even if they're not bad, there's still obviously a decline, and they're a lot weaker than they once used to be. We're not going to be getting any more If You're Reading This Is Too Late or a Nothing Was the Same. Nothing like that. And I'm completely okay with that, but you cannot disagree with the fact that these recent albums by Drake have not been nearly as good. Honestly, Nevermind was a horrible album in my opinion. Her Loss was not bad. I enjoyed a lot of the songs, but his album cover visions are crazy, bro. Like, they're just not that good anymore. And not only alongside that, the music itself, you could tell that he's not nearly as focused on the artistic idea of it. He's probably thinking about settling down and retiring. And we get another example of that with J. Cole. He settled down, retiring. He didn't seem nearly as hungry on the off season, but he still was a great album, but you could tell that it was definitely weaker than the rest of his catalog. Another case here is Kanye's last 3 albums. Jesus Is King, Donda, and Vultures are very, I'd say they're still looked at as very good albums, but not nearly as good as his other stuff. Normally it'd be like, it's very questionable, controversial, but it's still known by a lot of people as a masterpiece. I don't really see a lot of people calling Jesus Is King, Donda, or Vultures masterpieces. I think Vultures is one of his weakest projects, and I hate to say it, bro, he's getting a little bit old. I don't think we're going to be getting a lot more Kanye after this. But at the same time, people just don't retire. People do not retire. Maybe J. Cole's going to retire, but possibly not. He just dropped that new song. I think it sounded pretty good. But with that being said, all of these artists are at a very weird point in their career, and I think it could definitely go up, you know. But at the same time, we are probably reaching the end of their careers, and we're going to need a lot more new people to start showing up. So with that being said, what do you guys think about all this? Tell me in the comments below for a chance to get pinned. And if you made it this far, consider subscribing or sharing this video with a friend. Find out what they think about the current state of the biggest artists in the world right now. With that being said, though, I love you all very much. I'm Conflicted, and I'm out. Peace.